the history seems to show that what people campaign on, they do, right? And Mitt Romney's campaigning on repealing Obamacare. He appeared before a sign that said, "Repeal Obamacare," the day of the Supreme Court ruling. The House...
Repeal and replace, I think it said.
Okay. The House is again going to repeal Obamacare sometime soon, right? They're going to vote again. So I guess let's imagine a world with a Romney presidency, a Republican House, and a slight Republican majority in the Senate, which I think if you're imagining a world with a Romney presidency is probably most likely. It's certainly entirely plausible. How in that world is a world in which they don't deliver on the promises that they made, right? In which the Republicans come out and they repeal through reconciliation. They need only 51 votes to do the budget. They get rid of the Medicaid expansion. They get rid of the subsidies, and then you're left with the sort of little insurance market reforms, like about 24-year-olds being able to stay on their parents' insurance. How does that not happen?
First of all, it's always a lot easier to take a symbolic vote that has no significance and you know will die, like the House taking this vote on repealing. I think that they're not going to be able to do, I think Tyler is right, they're going to do something, they're going to call it repeal, but it's not going to be full repeal because, first, there is this budget problem. That is, the health bill actually saves money over the decade, and they would have to find money to fill that hole, and they can't find that money. Second, it puts them in the pickle of the replace part of it, because a lot of the bill is popular, like the insurance reforms and the keeping kids on until 26 and many other things, and you're going to have to then have a full set of policies, and the Republicans don't have a policy. We learned all through the debate that they had lots of things that they would argue about, but it was never a policy. It was never a whole thing that addressed the problems of access, cost, and quality. The last point I would make is Romney is going to need cost control, just like everyone else, for budgetary reasons. And I don't think he can throw out the whole bill because of that. He's going to have a mechanism to keep health care costs down because he's going to have to get the budget into some more reasonable balance. And health care, as you know, because you've written many, many articles on it, is the long-term threat to the federal budget. And it's even a medium-term threat to the federal budget. So I just don't see, I mean, I think Tyler's right. They'll do something. It'll be relatively modest. They'll call it repeal, but most of the bill is going to proceed.